Next, we're very lucky to have with us Kathy Wan Povi Sanchez, co-chair of U.S. Women Connect and founder of the Tiwa Women United. She'll be telling us about creating homes, soap, and honey.
I'm Kathy Wan Povi Sanchez from Tiwa Women United, a women's organization that we started 20 years ago, and we have 4 programs, and some of them are, the 4 are stopping the violence against Native women, Circle of Grandmothers, and the empowerment of women's and entrepreneur skill building, and then also the doula program, gaining our rights back to having our births at home or wherever the women choose to give their births. And then the Environmental Health and Justice Program. So with that, I wanted to talk about, well, start with a question. The question is the fluidity of purposeful living relative to dreaming with the life givers to be happy, healthy, and making a living with the fluidity of money as in with the fluidity of water? I think as Native people, we are very conscious of our life givers, and we had a hard time at first trying to deal with money and how does that empower. So we learned from our great-grandmother Maria, who I was privy to. She lived to be 98, and so as my great-grandmother, I lived with her, and I asked her a question about how do you deal with money, because she was known for revitalizing traditional pottery in our communities in New Mexico. And she said, it's like water. You hold it, you nourish it, but you let it go. It goes through. So it's about having a fluidity. And so my daughter and 2 of the organizations, the milk and honey industry, and my daughter's organization, Avanu, which is the serpent, the water serpent. So I brought visuals with me. So this is Avanu, the water. So when water ripples. So she took that name for her enterprise, and she's the first women-owned construction company. So they revitalize with Adobe and all the things in our community. And so her and this other lady, it says Honey of a Start, they were both recognized by the New Mexico Small Business Development Center for successful women's business this year. That was at the beginning of February. So I brought her products as well. And hers is loving her animals and her goats and her the honey industry. So soaps are commonly sold in the farmer's market, and that's Devin Lee. She started her business and is local. And then again, the construction company with Avanu, I have her symbol here. And my daughter attributed her ability to relate to natural resources and giving love and respect. And by doing that, the reciprocity of the fluidity of the money follows, as opposed to having the gold end to make money, because that's part for Native women to accept in terms of I'm doing it for money. So it's how do you make a living and how do you live with yourself in order to be able to help your community. So in the construction company, it's a revitalization of that ability with the skills, with the crafting, and having that access through the New Mexico Small Business Development Center. They give money, small microloans, in order to be able to start your businesses and then help you with your business plans. And this is another example of the pottery that through 5-6 generations of working with the clay and giving love and thanks to water, we can tell our stories on the pots. So it's like a messenger to have your life stories being told. So there's time for questions and answers, but I wanted to highlight some of the abilities that we're doing for our women in New Mexico, for our indigenous women. So thank you.